Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. A cross-sector of the Grand Bahama community paying tribute to the late Russell Franks this past Saturday. The nation's chief was among those attending the funeral service, described as a celebration of life. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
The celebration of life as the hierarchy of the government, led by Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie, were among the hundreds of family members and friends who turned up to pay their last respects. It was a final farewell to a former businessman and politician, the late Russell Franks. In a compelling and thought-provoking message, Pastor of First Baptist Church Reverend Dr. Keith Russell reflected on Franks' faithful and committed service, which he rendered to God.
Russell Franks was a gentle giant. Yes. I'm going to miss his soft-spoken wisdom. Yes. I'm going to miss his words of encouragement as he shook my hand upon exiting the door on Sunday morning. But Russell Franks was also a gladiator.
It was following that stirring address that the nation's leader ascended the pulpit, where he spoke in glowing terms about the late Russell Franks and his contributions to nation building.
Pastor, I asked him to help me shape a campaign for the island of Grand Bahama. And he told me it was going to be difficult for him because he really had given his life to Christ and he was involved in the church. And I kept on persistently speaking to him about the fact that if he did it, he could help me become Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And that's how these things happen. But Pastor, he agreed. And he managed the campaign leading into the 2002 general elections. We won. And then he went back to the church. He was a dignified, stately gentleman. He was a wonderful man, a wonderful citizen. May he rest in peace.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Hundreds packed Jubilee Cathedral on Saturday to celebrate the life and times of a prominent doctor, businessman, pastor, and family man, the late Dr. Hayward Cooper Jr. People came from far and near, joining in with a cross-sector of the members of the medical fraternity on Grand Bahama to remember the vast contributions Dr. Cooper made. Officiating was pastor of Bahamas Faith Ministries, Dr. Miles Monroe. He referred to Dr. Cooper as a rare son of the soil and said he will be remembered in a tangible way.
Great man that we are going to establish a Harvard Cooper Jr. Educational Fund. It will be a medical fund. Our desire is to establish a scholarship fund for students from Freeport who would like to continue his legacy in medicine. Secondly, we have agreed to establish a part of our new facility named after him, the Harvard Cooper Jr. Center, which would be our youth facility, which he had a passion for youth. We promised that we would name that facility in his honor. We would also name our new boardroom to be built in our new building, the Harvard Cooper Boardroom, because he was our first chairman of our board here in Freeport, and that will remain until Jesus comes.
Dr. Marcus Bethel talks about the man he came to know as an extraordinary individual.
whole community, not just the medical community, but the whole community has really been stunned by the loss of such a caring and wonderful doctor. As you've heard in the service, his life has been one of giving, of sharing, and of course community building. Dr. Cooper will be missed. He's left behind, though, a wonderful family and support from the community. And so we pray for his continued life hereafter, and we hope that going forward, many of his wishes and ideals that he worked for will be concluded in a timely fashion on this earth.
Police on Grand Bahama continuing their probe into that fatal plane crash that has left 4 people dead. According to police reports, shortly after 10 o'clock yesterday morning, the twin-engine Cessna 340 aircraft traveling from Morgan Beach, Central Florida, en route to Grand Bahama crash-landed in waters 5 miles northwest of Freeport. Officers from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, BASRA, and other emergency personnel responded and assisted with the recovery efforts. 4 Caucasian male bodies were recovered from the crash site. Police and the Department of Civil Aviation are actively investigating this matter. A 37-year-old man was arrested for possession of dangerous drugs. Reports say around 8:30 Monday morning, police were called to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection area at the Grand Bahama International Airport, where they arrested the male suspect of Haitian descent, who was found in possession of 4 black packages of suspected marijuana that were found in his traveling bag. He is expected to be arraigned before the magistrate's court. Meanwhile, police at the 8 Mile Rock Division arrested a 27-year-old male of Sea Grape for possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply. Reports are that on Monday, shortly after 6 p.m., officers apprehended the man who was found in possession of a clear plastic bag containing 20 brown paper packages of suspected cocaine. He was arrested and taken into custody. He is expected to be formally charged before the magistrate's court. In other news, a damaged underwater cable left hundreds of BTC customers in the northern Bahamas temporarily without service last night. The link between New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Andros left cell phone customers in Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, and cell phone and landline customers in Andros without service from around 9 p.m. until about 12:30 a.m. The underwater cable connects New Providence and the Family Islands. We're told that BTC technicians worked quickly to restore the service. A local home for the aged is getting some much-needed help. Tonight, there is a call for more community support. Their mandate is to assist the less fortunate, but recently the Grand Bahama Red Cross Society has been hard-pressed in its social assistance efforts. However, Development Coordinator Marcia Kennedy says upon hearing the plight of the home away from home on the ZNS News, officials of that vital agency were compelled to lend a helping hand. She says they moved immediately to assist.
So we did a follow-up the following day after the initial interview with ZNS, and we automatically put the 4 women on the Meals on Wheels program. And then it was taking us a little bit over a week to accumulate the items that we think that the ladies could use and the home could use to try to help improve the quality of life and care of the ladies that stay here.
Kennedy says the Red Cross was able to put together a variety of items for the elderly residents.
We bought sheets, detergent, towels, we brought some Depends, just mainly items. We did bring clothing items. We also bought food items, household items, something that it's not necessarily, we don't have the funding right now for cash, but we did help with in-kind donations. And so what we could do is just subsidize the items that you would spend at the store, the money you would spend at the store, to try to help alleviate some of the cash register at the end of the day.
There are presently 4 people living at the home away from home in Caravel Beach, and 2 more are expected to take up residency in the near future. Caretaker Murphy Knowles says she's grateful for the much-needed assistance, which will go a long way.
I truly bless God for the Red Cross. They came and she really surprised me when she said she adopt this home, and I truly wish others could adopt a home also too, to help me, to take care of the people. Like I say, it's not a paying job, but it's more like a spiritual job here to do, and make sure these people are very comfortable until God called them home, and I truly bless God even for others that actually came and stepped up. And truly bless God that others could come forward and step up more, because we still in need of a transportation, because we still stuck at home. Really cannot move like that.
Noel says the home is also in need of beds. Meanwhile, Kennedy is appealing to the community to support the facility in any way possible.
The first thing they need to do is contact Miss Knowles, and she has all the numbers, that you can make contact. But contact her to see what she is in need after she, does her assessment of what the donations that have come in, maybe since the first news report, and then after today, and then just kind of see, because you don't want to duplicate services. So if I brought a box of sheets today, or the Red Cross has brought a box of sheets today, to make sure that somebody doesn't bring a box of sheets.
Stay with us. The Northern Edition is coming right back.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A key player in Grand Bahama's industrial sector, continuing to invest in the lives of young Grand Bahamians. Today, the Grand Bahama Shipyard awarded a full scholarship to one of its apprentices. As Shashina Roll reports, the company is not just serious about training, but also ensuring that Bahamians have a tangible stake in this growing sector.
A full scholarship, expenses paid, and he gets to keep half of his salary. Theo Pelicanos is now the latest apprentice at the Grand Bahama Shipyard to further his education. The cost to the company, according to officials, is $100,000 over the next 4 years. Training manager Don Forbes says Pelicanos joined the company through the apprenticeship program in 2010 and has proven himself to be an exceptional student.
He has stand out in his logbooks and his academics, and also applying himself in the field. And so we feel that this is a good investment at this time in his career for us as a company to actually invest in him to go off to college, in which we as a company would be supporting him by picking up all of his expense whilst he's off. And also he would maintain half of his pay whilst he's off. So he has no difficulty in going off. He should have none, and going off and bringing back to us a degree in which we could really benefit from his knowledge and his expertise that he would pick up.
Pelicano says he is grateful for this grand opportunity, and he is already looking forward to returning home and embarking on his new career.
Upon completion, I would like to come back and contribute to the success and growth of the company. And I would like for my successes and my opportunity I'm being granted today to be motivation for my successors, as the success and motivated from my predecessors is motivating me. And I would like to say that I'm most grateful for this opportunity that the shipyard has afforded me. And I am very appreciative for what you guys are doing here for me today and what you've done before.
Chief Executive Officer at the Grand Bahama Shipyard, Carl Rockhurst, says they take training seriously, and this is an initiative they hope to continue in the future.
This is something of an effort that we will continue with during the years to come, and I can see that the results that we get are very good. The talent on this island that we find is really impressive. So we see every reason to continue on that path.
Theo Pelicanos will attend Florida International University this fall and plans to major in mechanical engineering. Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Miles Wilkinson was once where Pelicanos now sits. He entered the Grand Bahama Shipyard through its apprenticeship program, but is now the cruise project development manager at the ship care facility.
There's a lot that happens at the shipyard. I mean, it's not only in the office. It's, the trades. I think there's actually room for development there for young people that want to get into the trades as welding, electrical, what have you. I think really you just need to be focused, need to work towards getting in and really have a plan when you get in as to what you want to do and where do you want to take your career within this industry. I think it's, as Callie pointed out, it's a new industry to this country, and I think it's ours if we want to become stakeholders in it. I think it's ours for the taking.
A local business establishment lending a helping hand as thousands of students prepare to go back to the classroom next month. The Grand Bahama Power Company held its back-to-school drive on Saturday on the grounds of the company's headquarters downtown. Hundreds of young people gathered for a day of fun and excitement. Chairman of the Employee Volunteer Group, Mia Wilschcombe, and Vice Chairman Mark Liborn say they were happy for the opportunity to give back.
So we wanted to start with back to school. We know there's a time when things are tough in the economy in Grand Bahama. We wanted to give back to people, especially in preparation for getting the children back in school. So what we did today was we had drinks, we had some fun for the children, and most of all we had back to school supplies. So we gave away bags, books, and everything else that you would need to go back to school today.
We feel that there's a need to give back to the community. You know some folks that are in need, so giving them a little touch and giving them some stuff to get ready for school will be sufficient. So this is like our first year doing this, so hopefully you'd like to make this thing go further for years to come.
Wilschcombe says GB Power wanted to help ease the burden during these tough economic times, and she says the response was overwhelming.
We did prepare for 800 children, so we are prepared for everyone that came out today, but we are truly happy that people did decide to come out and bring the children to enjoy everything we had to offer today.
Well, that's a look at news, but don't go away. Sports is up next with Ricardo Liborn.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports with Ricardo Lightborn. Yep, got to get one of them job at that shipyard. Man, the Bahamas won its first medal, folks, in the Youth Olympic Games. Joanna Evans won the bronze medal in the women's 800-meter freestyle at a time, 8 minutes, 39.75 seconds. That's a new national record and a personal best for her. Got to say congratulations to Joanna. As far as a sailor, let me tell you that Paul De Sousa also in the dinghies. He too doing very well over there thus far. After day one, he was in third series race, 22nd overall, 26th and 4th, and then dropped down to 20th overall, and now they will sail again on Wednesday. You want to know what happened to our tennis players? Rashid Carey and Justin Roberts, they played mixed doubles today.
The old Missile base in East End is a site for the special...
Youngsters are from the far-flung community up there in East Grand Bahama, benefiting greatly from a particular program sponsored by Statoil. For more on that, let's go to Joan Davis Rowe.
The old Missile base in East End is a site for the special Yvonne Monroe East End Summer Camp. Special because this year a record number of youngsters are participating. Campers are learning the fundamentals of a sport, which made the late Yvonne Monroe, son of the camp director Patrick Monroe, a household name on the local and international tennis circuit.
No, it's keep growing. Today we have 55 kids out, okay? We started on Monday, 35, and now we're up to 55. But we average around 55 to 60 kids on a regular basis, so that's consistent.
Monroe says there's another reason why he's excited about this year's camp.
What's beautiful about this year, like you asked, is that I have kids who have graduated. They came in 15, and now because the camp is from age 6 to 16. So the ones who are now past 16 years, they're now coming back to help with the camp. So I have Kyle Parker, Natural, and Elizabeth. These are kids who were in the program, but this year they're coming to give back. And that's one of the things we are striving to, that someday that they will take over.
Youngsters involved in the sport say they're looking forward to doors of opportunities opening for them. And you see it has improved your game?
It does, yes.
What do you hope will happen at the end of the day?
That I'll be more advanced in tennis and go to higher levels.
I like learning every technique and just learning how to play tennis each day.
The strokes, I like how it's easy to play and simple.
And you have any plans to be a professional tennis player?
I'd like to be the next Serena Williams.
Joan Davis Rowe, ZNS Total Sports.
Okay, the Grand Bomb Amateur Softball Association coordinated the corporate co-ed softball tournament on the weekend. The Grand Bomb Port Authority regulators blasted GB Power Company 12-7. The Police Crime Stoppers gaining by BTC Communicators 5-2. The Police Crime Stoppers then put away the GB Port Authority regulars in a pretty good one, folks. 10-1 was the score. And then also BTC down the GB Power Company 10-zip. GB Power took exception and they clubbed at the Police Crime Stoppers 12-5 in the championship game. A very good one. The Grand Port Authority regulators would not be denied and held up the Police Crime Stoppers 15-14. Congrats goes out to the regulators. And to the young man, he got a little confused, okay? Don't worry about him. He's going to be just fine. He just wants to be a tennis star. Somehow, sometime, we'll work it out for him. That's a look at sports tonight.